What's up, guys? A little quarantine and chill is well. No one's really quarantined. We're just staying in the house not to spread this coronavirus. Um, but anyway, had to dig in the crates a little bit, putting together a chess session for you guys to follow. Short, effective, brief, uh, and something for you guys to try that you can try in the gym when you get back to it, or if your gym is still open, you can try it out. Knock yourself out. My day is filled with work from home, pick up the kid from daycare, seeing that he's the only kid, and then come home, and then that's pretty much it. So check it out. Like I said, dug in the crates, had to dig into the old iPhone to put the footage together, but I think it turned out pretty well. So you guys enjoy and let me know if you have any questions. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so a forgotten technique is called pre-exhaustion. This right here is not what you call pre-exhaustion, all right? You see the weight that's being hoisted. That's not a lot. It's merely to just get some blood in the chest, get the muscle primed for some of the work that is about to follow. In this case, we start off with some incline barbell presses. But we'll talk about pre-exhaustion a little bit. That's just basically doing an isolation exercise before a compound exercise. When you do that, the thought process is you recruit more muscle fibers. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I still think it's an effective tool that has gotten out of vogue in recent years. So usually what I like to do is I like to just start off with an incline press or some type of hammer press or machine press to get me started. But with pre-exhaustion, you can kind of go do one or two field sets for your heavy movement and then go right into the work sets. Whereas, like for me, depending upon the body part and how I wake up and how I'm feeling that day, can take 3 to 4. So just by pre-exhausting the muscle, that cuts down a bit on how many warm-up sets you need to do, right? So that is a valid technique that can still go on. However, I'm doing incline presses as my first movement, and then I'm moving on to some of the other movements inside the chest. Now, why incline press? Number one, the flat press is just absolutely brutal on my shoulders and elbows. I just can't do it with a bar to the point where it really works the chest. Now, if I did it with like a variation like a Swiss bar or something like that, then quite possibly. So you have to, if you have the advantage of switching up bars in your training, please do so, because it could be the difference between having an effective workout or tearing a muscle. So in this case, I choose the incline press because I believe it's safer. The upper chest needs to be targeted more on my physique to give you that upper shelf where the chest and shoulders meet, and plus it fills in that hard to build clavicle. You don't want no bony clavicle showing if you're a bodybuilder. So you got to keep packing on muscle up there, right? That's the smart thing to do. So, and plus, ever since I saw Dennis James do them, I'm just like, okay, I got to keep this in my repertoire. So 2 work sets here, 1 back off set, and the back off set is just 225 for a set of 10. And it's really just push more blood into the muscle, add in some more volume that I feel I need. There's many ways to drive muscle growth, volume just being one of them. So you could just play around with volume as you see fit. Definitely don't go off the deep end, but just, mess around with different waves of volume. Right now, my wave of volume is very low because I need it to be that way due to the time frame that I work out in and the day's events that follow the workout, which is usually just my normal work. So while I can't do barbell flat presses, I can do dumbbell flat presses. So that's what I stick with. Now, these would probably be a little bit more effective if they were on a slight incline, meaning that I put a 25-pound plate on the part of the bench where my head is at, just set it up there, but I didn't. But even though it was on a completely flat surface, they didn't feel bad. So getting back into the groove of these 110s for 2 sets, 6 to 5-ish, 5 to 6, I mean, something like that. Uh, Again, I'm not a strong presser, so it's something that I work towards every day. And whether or not I get there has yet to be seen. I still think that I'll have some good pressing in front of me, so I'm just going from there. Next up, the upper body squat, as termed by Arthur Jones, creator of Nautilus, which is ironic. I'm doing dips on a Nautilus machine. Dips. So why are dips so effective? It gives you a stretch component, number one. Two, it moves your body through space, especially with everything that's going on. A lot of people are moving their bodies through space, myself included. So you definitely want to include an exercise like that in your routine from time to time. Now, I didn't add any extra weight to this exercise like you've probably seen me do in the past, but you can do that. That's an option. Also, another option is just do reps until failure, um, which, again, a lot of people are doing right now. So don't discount just doing body weight work to get gains or just to maintain your physique. Right now, we're just in a maintenance phase for everyone, unless you have a home gym. But for 99% of us, we are just maintaining. So this was not a pre-exhaust. This was part of the workout. Went ahead and smashed up chest, or finished it out with some flies, high rep flies. I tried to do a couple of sets of 20 with close to the whole stack, but not the best thing that I can do, due to the fact that I fail around about 12 reps. So it's one of those things that I'm slowly building up on. Flies can build you a lot of muscle, so don't discount flies either. Make sure you get a good stretch it out, and then go from there. On to shoulders now. I like to kick things off with laterals, usually standing laterals, but this time we did them seated. So just really went to work, pumping the blood into the muscle, getting it primed for the heavy work. Really, I just push these to exhaustion, not via load, but via repetition. So again, volume is just one way to push muscle growth. It is not the only way to push muscle growth. And I've been trying to train shoulders in a higher volume fashion because apparently they respond better that way. And shoulder size is something that I've desperately lacked for a long time. So after we got done with that isolation exercise, move on to the Viking press. This Viking press is located at Iron Heaven. So when it opens back up after all this nonsense is, or rather when it opens back up to the general public after all this nonsense is over, just try this out. I think it's a little bit sturdier than the one at Bob's in Bellevue. Although the one at Bob's is nice and fancy. This is what I like to call the Steel Menace. It is a bitch. So, but in any event, presses do help build big shoulders. Again, it is not the only way to build big shoulders, but I don't mind including a press in with my shoulder workouts. But I'm starting to go more towards laterals, upright rows, things of that nature. Because if I do a lot of pressing in my chest work, then I'm just really putting my elbow, under harm's way, I feel. Finishing off with an oldie buddy goodie, some laterals. Upon retrospect, my elbow didn't go up or isn't being held up as much as I would like. So a key training point is to keep that elbow up as you pull upward, and you'll see right here what I'm talking about. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for a nice and high angle where my hand is at. So keep those in mind. Keep those tips in mind. I hope you guys are quarantining well and keep it moving. So thank you guys for watching. God bless.